Welcome back. Yes, book club, we are back, baby. We are back with yet another week. Let me take these headphones off because I don't need them. All right, so how is everybody doing out there? Man, it has been another good while. I've got so much to catch you guys up on. So we are going to get right into it. So let's do a quick room check. If you're here in the house, just let me know if my levels and everything are good. Just let me know if I'm too loud or if it's you can't hear for whatever reason. Let me know. So let me see here. Let me check this out. Make sure I got this. All right, everybody seeing me okay? Everybody back in the house? What's up, fellas? What's happening? Appreciate you guys stopping through. All right, so let me get right to it, guys. Let me first show you stuff on here. There you go. A couple of you guys. Good. Just want to make sure all that's working. Okay, so today is the first episode that is going to also be streamed on Twisted Transitionz. So we are testing it out. That channel is live at the same time. I'm using Restream to be able to stream to both channels. So right now you should be seeing this or have the option to see this on either my channel or over on Restream. So if you could let me know if you're over on Restream. If you're over on Twisted Transitionz watching this, just let me know in the chat to make sure that everything sounds great. I'm trying to keep an eye on it right here at the same time. It's kind of tough doing all this stuff. I tell you, I didn't know how to do any of this stuff before the pandemic, but boy, when you have to learn it, you just have to learn it. So I am still figuring out how all this stuff works, how it works together. And, it's a learning curve, guys. It's a true learning curve. So, like I said, if you're over on the Twisted Transition side, please let me know if you just write in the chat there. Just let me know if you're over there, if everything sounds good and looks good and you're receiving this broadcast. It says you are, so hopefully that is true. All right, so let's jump right into it. All right, so I went on a brief vacation. It was to Myrtle Beach, Surfside Beach, which is probably about 3 hours away from here. Went with the fam, had all the fam out there. We got an Airbnb, just kick back and relax. Didn't do anything DJ related, even though I still had to answer emails and book a couple of gigs. Other than that, just had a chill time. So I did come back to a wedding, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw that wedding and all the shenanigans that went on with that. We were in a familiar location, I think. I'm trying to remember. Yes, we were at Adams Pond, which is a familiar location. We had a tent, and those guys put on a great show that night. I tested a few new songs, and I wanted to let you know how that all went. So one of the songs that I tested was, I hate playing these TikTok songs, but people ask me for them. So I tested out the Money Don't Jiggle It Folds, whatever that is. I know I'm probably sounding pretty lame to most, but I did test it out, and it flopped. Not going to lie to you. It flopped. It did not do well. I played it. Probably 2 out of the 100 people who I played it for knew it. Not to say that I'm not going to try it again, but I tried to mix it in along with what I was doing, and I don't know. It just didn't go over well. It just didn't go over well. Let me know in the chat if you guys have tried that song, and if you have a pretty good version of it. If you do, let the other DJs know where you got it from, so that they can find that version and try to use that song before it hits its expiration, which I imagine will be soon, the way these songs are going. So that didn't work at all. But I tell you, I've been doing that Naughty by Nature transition, the hip hop array, doing. I found a version that has a chorus only, and I wasn't too fond of it. But the one I've been using has the chorus, and then it has an acapella out. And from that, I've been going into different songs, and people are still loving the that mix or whatever I mix it with. And I'm just having a good time with music right now, guys. So May closed out with a bang. And May did definitely close out with a bang. I hope you guys had a great Memorial Day. And we are now into June. Now, June for your favorite DJ is going to be absolutely different. I'm not even going to say crazy. It's going to be different. It's going to be very, very different. Here's why. I have Monday gigs, or Monday weddings, Thursday weddings, Sunday weddings. Just got an additional Saturday additional Saturday wedding thrown into the mix. I actually had 2 Saturdays off, and then one got taken away because a gig came through, and it will have me traveling. So, and I have a home wedding, which I haven't done in quite some time. We'll be at a client's house actually that's this Saturday. It's not actually that far from the house here, but I'm excited to do that one. The view, I've looked up the address, and the view is pretty cool. So I'll show you guys that. Make sure you follow me on Instagram so that you can see all the behind the scenes with that one. But lots of weddings this month. Got some fun ones that I know right off the top. And then I've got some ones that I have yet to meet the bride and groom. Yeah, I said it. I haven't met the bride and groom at all. So hopefully we can we can meet well before that and get that first look out the way. Because, we need a first look too. We need to be able to, it's nice to put a name with a face sometimes. So lots of great stuff coming up this month. On top of that, the videos are still going to be coming out once a week. I've been working on some of the ones that I just recently did to close out May, so that those will fall in line with June. Then I'll be recording in June so that they will start going into July. You know how it goes. So I'm just going to keep the videos rolling out, and I'm going to be recording some videos when I have a little more downtime. And I've got some mixes and stuff in mind that I'm also going to be recording. So if you do not follow me on Mixcloud, you probably should go ahead and start doing that, because that's where I'm going to put those mixes at. I've already been working on them. I have what's called a brother mix that I'm going to do, where I'm going to let my brother curate the entire list, and I'm going to see if I can DJ it. He may pick songs that I know, he may pick songs that I don't know, but I am going to have him do that. You don't want to miss that, because our music is similar but different, if that makes sense. So we're going to try that out as well. All right, so let me go ahead and talk about the elephant and stuff in the room. I know you guys saw recently where there was a new mixer that came out. The DJM S5, I believe, just recently came out, and it is a 2-channel battle mixer. And it looks like this here. This is what we're talking about here. It's the red and black. Love those Chicago colors on that. But it's pretty interesting and stuff, because it's like a simplified version of an S9 or an S7. And I have the S11, which is, it's so different from this one, because it just has it just has all the different features and everything you have. I have the touch screen and everything at the top and the middle there. This one, actually, it loses the second row of pads as well, for you to be able to use for for your cues or your different features and everything that you can use for the mixer. It also has one mic input and stuff on the back, and it is charged or receives power, or you connect your computer to it through USB-C, which is the first mixer I've seen do that. Let me see if I can find that image here. Right there. If I can get this off. So you'll see here it's got the XLRs that go to each channel. Then it's got the mic input over here. But right here, it's got the USB-C and the USB-C for the power, which, like I said, is completely different than what you and I are accustomed to in general. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. From what I've seen, it's actually pretty cool. So I can't knock it. I myself probably wouldn't get this, but this is for somebody who may be starting out and doesn't really know a lot about mixers, hasn't used a lot of mixers and then turntables or CDJs to go alongside of it. So I would say that this is a pretty good one here. Let me show you the front panel. So the front panel, hopefully you guys can see that. Move that over. You got to bear with me here, guys. Here we go. All right, so the front panel has just, it's just your basics on here. It's got your level for your crossfader as far as, with that Magville crossfader, which it does use, and you can just adjust the tension and everything in it. But it, it's very basic and everything on front. One headphone input for the quarter inch, and then one for the regular headphone input on here as well. But if you were comparing it to the S7, let me just show you the front of here it is. Whoops, that's the back. Let me put you on the front. Hold on one second. There it is. There's the front of it. That's the difference between the two. So it's just your level of comfortability. This right here looks like it's a little bit more advanced. So if you're more in that beginner stage and want to be able to use a great mixer, I would definitely look at the S5, and it has a price point of $799 right now. So you guys, definitely take a look at that. If that's something that you're interested in. But it just recently came out, and I just wanted to highlight that just so you guys were able to stay up on the news, just in case you have it, which most of you have. All right, so on to the next thing here. Trying to do a little structure and stuff in here. Oh, let me see here. Hold on one second. One second. There we go. All right, so I had a topic I wanted to talk to you guys about here. So let's chat for a second. All right, so my topic and stuff today. Now, I heard, sometimes these are the questions that I ask myself. And so I wanted to ask a DJ community what their thought was on the questions that I already asked myself. And you guys probably have asked me this in the comments and stuff below in my on my videos when you see me use different stuff. But I just want to know in the chat if you guys can tell me, do you guys ever bring out equipment that the couple has not paid for nor asked for? Now, hear me out when I say this. And you can go ahead and type while you're doing that, but hear me out when I say this. So I had about 3 weeks ago, I had a couple that was on the edge about cold sparks, and I haven't had a chance to really get a great feel for the cold sparks as far as using them on a consistent basis, and I really wanted to be able to give them that. Now they had the opportunity to be able to use them, but they elected not to. So what I did was I said, why not just go ahead and bring the Cold Sparks with me just in case there's an opportunity to use it. And what I can use it for is to be able to get a great photo or get some video footage so that I can use that for future clients. So my question to you is, what about things like uplights, monogram? Well, you probably can't do monogram because you'll need the consent. You'll need them to choose what monogram. But what about uplighting or things like a Cold Spark? Would you guys bring them out just so you can get an image, or you can get that wow factor, or just because you know what type of party it's going to be? Would you bring that out if the client didn't pay for it? Just a quick question. Let me know in the chat and everything. It's just some stuff that I have in my head that I always try to think of. So let me see here. T. Reed, what's going on, man? If I want some shots for promo. Yeah, and see, this is what I was curious about, whether or not we use it for. Everything nowadays, you can't really, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm pitching to a couple, telling them is never the same as showing them. And if they have a visual of something, they're more inclined or more willing to be able to make that upgrade or get that add-on if they can see it. But if you just tell them, hey, well, we got Cold Sparks, if you want to use Cold Sparks, their first inclination is going to be, what are Cold Sparks? Because they have no idea. You and I know what those are. Or uplight. There's still people out there that don't know what uplighting is. When I pitch it, I say, would you guys like to, or would you guys be interested in uplighting and just changing the decor of your room? Uplighting? What is that? And so it's better to have a visual of that. And the best way to do that is to give them maybe a recent event, or if you have it if you've done uplighting at a venue that they've already, or that they're going to be using, it would help you out tremendously as far as trying to upsell them for that, because customers don't always know what they want. They just know that you DJ, you'll bring the dance floor lights, and that's pretty much what they think you do. So if you can just show them, that the extra steps, and visually show them, maybe even create a small video where you're talking about it, or if you can show them an image or picture. Still pictures kind of don't do it justice. If you can show them, a moving picture, and this is something you could take with your phone. That way, you have it in your repertoire. Now, one of the things that I've done on Instagram, and I know that some of you guys have taken advantage of this, but I've used, let me show you this. So I've used the little icons here in the middle to be able to display stuff like uplighting and Cold Sparks and things like that. So I try to use visual aids to be able to conquer those here. So let me know in the chat what you guys think about that, whether or not you would actually do that, whether or not that serves a purpose, or if you're just like, nah, no, if you don't pay, you don't play. Because that's the way I used to be until I had to start realizing that there's a reason why some people bring some stuff out. So I'm going to turn to the chat with that particular statement here. So what do we have here? So always best to be prepared, and since you video your gigs, reference material will add to your story for future gigs. That's true. That's true. I just had a recent client ask if I had a bio, and it's interesting because a bio is just almost like just words of affirmation. Anybody can talk about themselves, but if you've got a visual aid for somebody to use, like a YouTube, like videos on your phone from clients having a good time, video, if you can get videos from a videographer, they've already taken the time to put LUTs and do cuts and put music and stuff behind it. That kind of stuff is what wows people now. So I would definitely use visual aids now as opposed to pictures or just words. I think a bio has its downfalls because it's just a bunch of words, and it's words that a client still doesn't know what you are capable of. Even though you tell them, oh, I'm so great. Oh, it's so great. Oh, everything that we do is so great. And I've been doing it for so long. That bio could have been made 5 years ago, and you're using the same bio. So that's why I like to have visual aid materials. I would definitely encourage you guys to use a visual aid, whether it be pictures if you have to, but video at all possible. And this right here is your best friend. I would use this thing to death. You know, if you can grab a couple at the end of the night and say, hey, I just want you to tell me what kind of night and stuff you had. That visual aid right there is something you could send to the next client. So that's just a tip for you guys. But let me know in the chat what you guys use. If you're feeling me or if you're not feeling me, if I'm just saying a bunch of words and you're just kind of like, nah, that doesn't happen, just tell me. I'm open-minded. We can leave it all on the table and stuff here. All right, so all right, so let me go back to since we were talking about equipment and stuff earlier as well too. I had another question I wanted to ask, and this is just going to lead into the second half of the live stream where we just kind of chat and we kind of talk instead of just asking me about speakers and stuff all the time. I'm asking you questions and stuff too, so that you can give me some great feedback and give the fellow DJs who are watching some great feedback. And this is something that if you're watching this on repeat, you can actually check out the comments and stuff or add some comments to the comment section down below. But let me ask you this. So this is another question that I asked myself. When is the right time to upgrade equipment? Now, as DJs, we want to keep up with the Joneses. If we see Tim's Entertainment Service, I don't know if I have a Tim in here, but I'm just saying, if we have a Tim's Entertainment Service, now we offer 5 totems and dancing on a cloud and snow machines and low fog machines and all this other stuff. When you look at that and you say, oh, I would love to offer that, but then you look at your market and it's not something you feel that is marketable, when do you upgrade your equipment or say, hey, let me buy this add-on? Now, one of the things that I do is I like to ask myself a few questions. And one of the things I like to say is, with the equipment that I'm looking at buying, like let's say, I'll give you an example of something I'm looking at right now. So I am looking in the near future on getting and I know this is something simple, like a dual case for my TVs, because right now the TVs sit in its original boxes, and I'm tired of doing that. I'm ready to go ahead and put them in cases. So one of the things I ask myself is, can the new equipment bring in more profit? Like, not only can I sell it, but can it bring in more profit? Now, that's not something that's going to bring in more profit. That's just something that's going to help me out, be able to roll in, and it creates an opportunity to make it easier for you instead of carrying. So let's take it to something else. Let's say something I recently brought, like a projector. So my projector, is it going to bring me more profit? Absolutely. The projector is for the monograms. Now, I upgraded my projector because I felt like it needed an upgrade. My original one had served me for about 6 years, and it was time. It was time for an upgrade. So that's what I did. I just had to go ahead and upgrade it and make sure that it was something that it wasn't going to break the bank, and it was also going to make me back the money that I just used to purchase it. And it did, or it has, because with 2 of my packages, I offer a monogram, and if you get those packages, you pay for the monogram, and boom, it pays it off. So I would ask myself that if you are purchasing that, is it going to make me a profit? And be realistic with yourself. Don't sit there and just say, oh, I saw another DJ use it, so it should bring in. That doesn't warrant buying it. You should test the waters. And if I were you, I would rent it a couple of times, especially things like Cold Sparks. You know, Cold Sparks is kind of a fad right now. It's almost like how Photo Booth used to be when it first came out. It was the hot thing. It lasted for about 2 or 3 years, and now it's like a lukewarm area. It's not as popular as it was when they first came out. Let me look at some of the chat just to make sure I'm keeping up with you guys over here. If I miss a sale or have to rent several times, Photo Booth. Yeah. Okay. See, I would definitely rent some stuff first. And if you're starting to see an uptick in how many times you're selling it, go ahead and purchase it. Why not? Travis Harris, what's going on, man? Denny D. Yeah, definitely your return on investment. For me, it's based on progression and of abilities and increased need to upgrade due to the amount of gigs. The more gigs you do, identify the need. Now, let me just say something to that, DJ Romeo. Just because you have an uptick in gigs doesn't necessarily warrant more equipment or new equipment. I say that because if you can get more gigs and you can keep the equipment that you already have for a certain period of time, you can actually wait to upgrade. You don't have to get the latest and greatest, and then when something comes out that fits your mold, then you could probably, go ahead and get it. But the amount of gigs does not warrant it. Maybe if you've gotten full use at it. I mean, I see guys who buy the DDJ 1000 SRT, and this is the example I'm talking about so that I don't step on anybody's toes. I've seen people buy the DDJ 1000 SRT, which is the same mixer I used for my functions, and it came out in 2019. In 2021, that's only 2 years, the Rain 1 came out. And when the Rain 1 came out, people were jumping from the SRT to the Rain 1. They only got 2 years use out of that SRT. Why? Why would you change? Now, I've seen some people go from the Rain 1 up to the Rev 7. And I'm like, why? Why would you go to that? Because it doesn't make any sense. You haven't even really broken in the system. You haven't even broken in the unit at all. I would get at least 5 to 6 years out of that mixer first. So the next time that I'll probably be looking for a mixer, it probably won't be for a while, because I love the SRT. Unless it has some type of, issue and stuff, I would get that. I would use that until almost the wheels fall off. I mean, I love that mixer. There's nothing wrong with that mixer at all. It can do everything that I want it to do. Yeah, these new things have added features, but it's not worth the upgrade just because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. I don't care if such and such has this and I have this one over here and I can't make a DJ noise during a certain time like he can. That stuff doesn't matter to me. If that thing still produces great sound with no issues, I'm sticking with it. So you won't see me upgrade stuff for like maybe 5 or 6 years once I get it. Anything that looks like it's slowing down, or maybe I bought it and it just didn't return investment, I'll sell it. Get it out of there. I think that's what I'm going to do as soon as this Cold Sparks fad goes away. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell them and I'm going to get rid of them because I don't need them. They're not serving me any purpose, especially just sitting here. They're not serving me any purpose. I can't use it for anything else. And I'll probably sell them for less than what I bought them for, but I try to get them to make me the money back. Like if I sell my uplights, I know that the uplights have made me my money back 10 times over. So I know that I could sell them for a cheaper price because they've done me justice. So just wanted to say that, Romeo. I hope I wasn't stepping on your toes when I said that. Sig 310, you got some summer weddings lined up? Well, yeah, June I do. I've got just a sprinkle here and there in July and August, and then it picks back up in September. my original QSC K12s holding strong. Yeah, I've got two QSC K12s in my storage and stuff right now that I could pull them out and get right to work with and get busy with them right now. Same thing with my 122s. I mean, I've had those things. God, I've had those 122s probably for about 7 years, 6 to 7 years. I've had those, and then I got the LD system. See, now I have both, and I can use both, and I still use both. I don't just put the other one to the wayside. I still use both, but I do have an enhancement in speakers and stuff now. But I waited like 7 years before I did that. So just as easy. That's what I just want to convey to you guys. Next thing, I pretty much went over the next ones here, but have you had any problems with the current equipment when you're asking yourself, should you buy the new equipment? Some of the questions you should ask, are you just trying to keep up with other DJs that you see flashing up there? What does the wedding market say is trendy and stuff right now? Is it a trend that's going to last more than a year? Is it a trend that's going to be, forthcoming to where it's like it'll last for 2, 3, 4 years and make you profit over that time? Because most of the time, I think you should be able to make full profit back within a year, year and a half on the equipment you purchase, if I'm not mistaken. And lastly, I asked myself, what have been some of the worst purchases that I have made? And I thought about making a video on this. But since there's only a few of you guys that come and watch this, I could probably still make a video on this. But let me tell you guys some of the worst purchases I have made. The QSC 153s. Did I have the 53s or 52s? I think it's the 53s. The 153s. Which is just the taller cabinet, taller wood cabinet. Those speakers I probably used about 8-9 times, and I bought those things 6 years ago. My thinking behind it was that I was going to do a lot more school functions and that I needed some bigger speakers. But what I didn't realize is that I was going to burn out on school functions, and that I wasn't going to want to do them anymore. So I have not used those things in a while. I probably need to go ahead and sell them. To be totally honest with you, I probably need to go ahead and sell those because they're not serving any purpose. They're just kind of taking up space. Some more things that I have purchased, worst purchases, gig bars. Now, if you guys are avid watchers, you know that I cannot stand the gig bars. If you guys use them, more power to you. I am not bashing you for using a gig bar. I just don't like them. I think they're kind of cheesy, and I think that the little dots and circles, all that stuff that I used to use, and you can go back and watch some of my previous videos where I used the same thing. I just think that those are it's just terrible. It looks cheesy to see DJs weddings where people have dots on them. I think wash lighting is the best thing to do. Like, keep everything washed in a couple of spots. I think that is the easiest way to get the cleanest look. And you can change your look up as far as your whole setup, but it gives you the cleanest look. But gig bars is another one. Plus the pedal craps out on you all the time. So gig bars is another one. Another bad investment. I did a black light. I bought it's not just a single black light. It's like the ADJ, like that Canon. It looks like a Canon black light. I used that thing twice. That's it, twice. Thinking that there was going to be a market for small raves. People were going to use that for Halloween parties, things of that sort. Never happened. Never happened. That thing is just sitting in my storage. Another item that I need to sell. Another bad purchase. I'm almost thinking that my trust, the overhead trust, my triangle trust, I'm starting to think that that was a bad purchase. I only use those trusts when I do a prom. And now that I have 3 proms on the books that look like they're going to be pretty steady, I'll probably end up keeping them. But to be honest with you, if I didn't have those 3 proms, those things would have to go. I don't use them. And that brings me to the crank stands, because the truss can't go up without the crank stands. So both the crank stands and the truss, I just don't use them. I don't use them like that. I do more weddings and regular events that don't require trusting, because it just takes up too much space. I mean, I could put on a great show because I have 4 moving heads and 2 wash effects that would just, absolutely kill a show, especially if I use the hazer with it, but I just don't do it enough. And that brings me to my last worst purchase, and that's a haze machine. I don't know about for where you guys are, where you live and stuff in the country here, or even out of the country if you're watching this. But most of the venues here have sensitive fire alarms, and every time I have used a hazer with the fluid that is supposed to not set off the alarms, it has set off the alarms. Every time I've tried, it's done it. And I actually had to shut it off at my previous prom. Everything looked great, but I could not use it long enough because they said that the fire alarms were too sensitive, and if it sets it off, I can't even work the gig, so it's not even worth it. And the haze generator and stuff that I have, it's like $400, so it's like a waste. It is an absolute waste. So that's why I'm saying my purchases have to be smarter. I have to ask myself these questions before I make the purchase on these pieces of DJ equipment. And that's where my stuff has gone. I bought the Bose S1. I bought the Maui 5 Go. These things bring value. I do all ceremonies with that. Now that I know that the Bose S1 is fantastic for dual microphones because it has 2 inputs, whereas the Maui 5 Go doesn't. If it's a small wedding with 120 people or less, I can use that one Bose S1 and it will cover everybody, and I'll be able to use 2 microphones. Everything will be pretty much wireless. It'll only have 2 wires coming from the wireless lapels that go right into the Bose S1, and that's it. The Maui 5 Go covers large crowds, gives great volume for everything. It just doesn't do well whenever you have multiple mics, because you have to bring out a mix. Excuse me. You have to bring out a mixer, and then mixer means power. And sometimes if you get the phantom power ones, it doesn't sound great. So I'm trying to simplify DJ pretty much whenever you have to become a one-stop shop. So think about those things whenever you are purchasing your DJ equipment. Don't try to just keep up with the Joneses. Make sure that everything that you purchase brings you value, and it can pretty much give you back the value of what you paid within a year and a half. If it can't, then you really don't need it. You really don't. We as a community love to spur each other on and keep advertising all the goodies we have and give false hope to other people. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Dancing on the Cloud, I thought about purchasing one of those just because nobody uses those here. I figured, oh man, there's a market for those. I feel like that'll work. Kid you not, I asked 20 couples when Dancing on the Cloud, when I first saw it. 20 couples whether or not they would do Dancing on the Cloud, and I showed them images and stuff of it because you got to show them a visual. They have no idea what Dancing on the Cloud is. And every last one of them said no. Every last one. I told them, oh, this would be great for your photo. It looks like you're actually dancing. No, we don't want to do that. No, I'm good. And it had nothing to do with price. They just didn't like the feature. I didn't even get to price on most of them. Most of them were like, oh, no, we don't like that. I think we're going to do without that. And they didn't say it in a mean way. They just kind of said, oh, I think we could do without it, which is fine. It's just that I was just going to rent it. Make it easier. But it is what it is. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk and stuff to you guys about. Now we've come to the portion where it is Q&A time. You guys respond and stuff in the chat. I'll try to answer as many questions and go over as many things as you guys can put in there as time will allow. Really appreciate you guys all coming in and checking me out and sticking around. Again, I say that this is the first live stream that we have put on Twisted Transitions, which is my other page that's going to hold all of these live streams. And what I plan on doing is editing these live streams down and putting snippets over on my channel. But these live streams kind of have made my numbers just because it's an hour-long show, and if the longevity of somebody looking, or the amount of views and stuff that are captured from these live streams just make your numbers go down the toilet. But that's why we're going to do it that way. If you haven't had a chance, hit the link down in the comment section down below. Follow Twisted Transitions, and like I said, it'll start going over there. I just wanted to kind of do a simultaneous one this time so that people have the opportunity to go over there and watch it. So again, in the chat, if you are over under Twisted Transition and you're watching this, just tell me in the chat that you're over on that side watching this, just to make sure that everything sounded great and all that good stuff. All right, so let's turn to the chat and see what you guys have been saying over there. I haven't been neglecting you guys. I'm just trying to get everything out here so we have enough time to do Q&A here. All right, so Sig310 says, you seen the video on IG where the DJs were asked what's worse to DJ, a club or a wedding? No, I don't think I've seen that. I think I asked that question to a couple of DJs when I watched their live stream, and I saw a video where a couple of club guys said that it is harder to DJ a wedding than a club, and I would agree with that. The reason I would agree with that is because if you DJ a club, you can play bangers all day. Just bangers. You can play what's current. You don't really have to fall back and have a format. You don't have to go old to new. You don't have to go back at all if you don't want to. You can play current stuff as long as the bass line and stuff is hidden, because these days all kids love bass and chorus. Bass and chorus. If you got a great bass line and you got a great chorus, you've got a hit record. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. But with a wedding, there's strategy. There's, we got to do a lot of stuff that's not entertaining for a club DJ. A club DJ is not going to want to play no slides. Are you kidding me? I don't even want to play slides, and I'm not a club DJ. All right. My Kicks Media. I've had my QSC K12.2 for 5 years. I sometimes hear them rattle, but I make sure that the screws are tight, but they still do any suggestions. You're just really going to have to pinpoint it down, to be honest with you. If you could find out what's causing it to rattle, you may have to take a couple of pieces off just to see if you can pinpoint that down. If the rattling is loud enough to hear when you're playing at your events, then you definitely want to do some troubleshooting and stuff and take it down, just break it down and stuff a little bit and see if you can find out where the rattling is coming from. Or you can take it to your local place like a Guitar Center may look at it. I have something called, but a place called Sims here that they just deal with all music equipment. Sometimes they can look at it, but I would definitely take it to somebody who knows about speakers and have them look at it. Denny D, yeah, we love our gigs. Our gear, excuse me. We love our gear. You're right about that. Digital Media Morado, have you tried out the ADH Wolfmax DM? Oh, the ADJ. Yes. Yes, I have. And I absolutely love that thing. I love that Wolfmax. If as long as it stays afloat, I will never, and you heard it here first, let me get in a little closer. I will never use the ADJ Airstream DMX bridge as long as that Wolf mix is up and functional. I promise you that. That's how good this thing is. I love the features and everything of it. I have yet to use it with moving heads, but I'm stoked. It works great with uplighting. It works great with the wash effects and the element hex bars. That's the things that I use the most. And then all I have to do is, get it where I want to get it with moving heads. Shuts it all the way down. Change the game. It is phenomenal. I love it. Absolutely love it. I actually can't wait to put on my light shows because of it. It's fantastic. That's all I can say. It's fantastic. I'm ranting and raving. I am going to make a video about that too. So please stay tuned. That's one of the videos I have in mind that I need to do. DJ Romeo, maybe check the poll insert. It's good to know. Good advice. Hey DJ, oh yeah, DJ. Dang, that good. I'm gonna have to give it a try. Now I will tell you, Media Morado, that it there is a learning curve. There is a learning curve. I did sit down 2 almost full days in my living room trying to figure out how this thing works. I still don't have everything down, but I have a lot of it down. I hope that makes sense, because it can be tricky, but it's a surefire way to change up your lights on the go and you not have to really do anything. And another good thing is the way that it uses the lights, it doesn't use the batteries in the lights as much. I saw that my element hex, usually at a function, when I was using the Airstream and the iPad, at a function, I would start off with 100% battery life, and by the end of the night, I was usually down to about 40%. On these, since I've been using the Wolf mix, it only has dropped me down to about 70% after using a whole light show for the same amount of time. I mean, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So now I can use some of the lights, for 2 gigs instead of charging every gig. I can probably get away with 2 gigs and stuff now. I might even try to push it to 3, just depends. But I am going to try it. Probably for my first 3 weddings, I'm going to just let the lights run on the Wolf mix and see if that will allow me to be able to preserve them for that long. Good question. Are you using the donor or hardwiring everything? Okay, so I still use the donor because the donor is what communicates with the wash effects, because I still use the dongles. It also communicates with my uplights, my Chinese uplights, the both uplights. So I do still use that, and you do have to hardwire one. I did hardwire one element hex par that sits under my setup, and then that hex par sends the signal out to the other 5, and that gives me the cohesiveness of that. But the only thing that I had to hardwire was just that one element hex par and that's it. That's it. And I use the dongles for the rest of it, and it works out great. I haven't had a drop in it. I haven't had one thing the Airstream used to do when there was a lot of people in the room, or if I had something up high and it was down lower, it would not always send a signal. I do not have that problem so far with the Wolf Mix. It always receives signal. It's very responsive. Does everything I asked it to do immediately. Fantastic. Good question. AA Post. I don't know how to say your last name. I'll say your name here. Is it Posio? How are your Maui 44s going? Love from Australia. Wow, all the way from Australia. Appreciate you watching, bro. Wow. The Maui 44s are still amazing. They're the best speakers. Well, let me not crown them yet. They are one of the best speakers that I have ever used or heard. They do a fantastic job, and I continue to get rave reviews from videographers, photographers, clients about how crisp the sound is. I love how nice the sound system and stuff is right now with the Shure microphone and the Maui 44s. Everything just sounds really clean right now. I've really leveled up when it comes to sound, and I wouldn't change it for anything. It sounds great. It just sounds fantastic. They are great. All right. Any other questions you guys have? Still got a little time before we close it out. Let me get some water. Anything else you guys may have? While I wait for you here, let me just tell you that if you haven't had a chance to follow me on Instagram, at djjbook.com, djjbook. Please do so. I'm going to do a lot more behind the scenes and stuff on there. I'm going to try to do some reels. I've had some ideas for some reels that I want to put together. You know, the reels and stuff that I've had on there, the two that I've actually done have been pretty successful, which they have a stronger reach than like the stories and stuff do. So, and also a stronger reach than than just the posting on the news feed. So I think I'm going to try something different. I'm always changing, guys. I'm always evolving as stuff changes. I'm trying to learn all this stuff. I don't know all this stuff. I sound like the old guy and stuff, but I promise you, I'm just trying to format my stuff to keep up with technology. Technology is always vastly changing and improving. So I'm trying to. I'm not quite that TikTok DJ yet, but I am looking for somebody in my area. Can't fly you here, and please don't drive here for this. But I am looking for somebody to be able to record, some stuff on, some live footage and stuff with like a phone. Because I don't, I can't do it all. I can't be the DJ. I can't be the lighting director and record myself doing it's just too much. And I've tried the whole phone on a stand thing. It's too much. It's too much. So I am looking for somebody that I will pay to be able to help me out with that, and hopefully I can find somebody and you'll start seeing that. That would help out a lot. All right, I bought a set because, see, it's flattering that you bought a set because of me, and that I rave, I rave about them so much. But again, you have to make sure that is what fits you. You can't just buy them just because you see them and stuff on here, because it may not be what your system needs. But I hope you like them. I hope you're able to use them. So that's dope that you did that. DJ Danny B, what's up? Respect from H-Town, Houston in the house. What's happening, DJ Danny B? Appreciate you coming through. DJ Romeo, speaking of new equipment, Reloop Mixon 8 is available. Oh, is it now? Well, you telling me something new. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I haven't heard that. You heard it here for, well, I don't know if you heard it here first, but you did hear it here that the Remix Mixon 8 is now available. Let's see. I tried it on my first wedding last Saturday, but it was a long room, so my left couldn't hear. The speeches. Do you use remote wireless speakers for areas you can't reach? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. The venues and everything that I have here, there are no really long rooms. And you guys, if you watch my gig logs, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't really have a room that's too long. I do have rooms that are too tall, like that the ceilings are ridiculously high and it creates a massive amount of echo. But no, I mean, I have a speaker and stuff that I could use if that was the case, but I have not run into that case, at least here. If that's something that I run into later, I do have a speaker that I could run, the distance and stuff with. Probably have to bring a QSC along with a 44 G2, or the other way around. If I'm using the QSCs, then I'll use the 44 G2 over there, or the Maui 5 Go, whichever one. Good question. Have you raised your prices after COVID with everything going up in prices? I have moved my prices accordingly. I don't want to say I have raised my prices. I have moved them accordingly, because that's what my market has done as well. So I just want to make sure that I am capitalizing where I can, where I'm able to, if that makes sense. The Insta 31 times 2 is all you need. I love it. Now, I think that's that thing that kind of makes you look like you're on like a planet or something like that, or it just gives you that curved look. I've looked into those and stuff, but it's another camera to set up, another thing that I have to look at. I want somebody else to do that for me. Like I said, I've got enough to already think about. I'm already going to be recording a gig. I know you can't see this, but I'm recording a gig for you guys right over my head. Then I would have to run that 360 camera also, because I can't do a whole gig log off the 360 camera. And then I have to DJ and mix. Then I have to run the lights and everything. It's too much. It's too much. That's why I have to be able to outsource this. I just need somebody who is phone, literate, and that can just take my social media to another level. And I think I'll find that person. I think if I just keep asking, I'll find that person eventually. Let's see. No, you did research also. Okay, that's what's up. Sweetwater has it for $12.49. Oh, okay. He's giving us the price too. So the Reloop Mix 8, Sweetwater has it for $12.49 if you want to look in. DJ Solstice, what's going on, man? Welcome in. I mean, better late than never, right, my guy? Popping in, headed to NAMM tomorrow. You gonna go one of these years? Man, Solstice, I tell you, I looked into NAMM and I looked at it and I was like, I would only be going to network. I wouldn't be going for, because we have that over here. We have, the DJ Expo, and I've been getting a whole bunch of things on that too, because I believe that's coming up in like August or something like that. So we get the DJ Expo coming up. These things are just, I've already been to one. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. And it's just purely on networking. I would love to get out there and see you guys, but I'm trying to get past the fact that it feels like I'm just lighting money on fire for some reason. I guess if I was there represented with a company or something like that, it would be different, because I'm kind of on their dime, on their time, and I still get to see all this great stuff, and I could see that. but just me just shelling out just to go chat. I mean, I can chat with you guys like this. I can chat with you guys through video, through things like that. Like it's, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I can't get out of my own way with that. It's probably something I need to look at. DJ Romeo, great. You wish you lived close by. Yeah, well, I mean, you could probably help me. You could probably help me, to say the least. All right, I'll take a few more questions and stuff before we get out of here this evening. Thank you guys, who all have been here for watching. Again, we'll try to do this every Thursday, 7 p.m. Try to get in, try to go over a few things for the week, what's coming up, what I just went through. I can't wait to share a lot of stuff that's going to be happening in June gig-wise. Because it's gonna be insane, guys. I got some new stuff. Finally, some new places. Oh, finally, some new places, man. Still trying to lock in on that travel gig so that you can see that one. I'm almost there. Almost done. Isaac, you missed it. Yeah, you're a little bit late, Isaac, but you can go back and look at it if you'd like. I gave a couple of gems in this one if you'd like to go back and take a look. DJ Danny B, God bless JC. All right, Danny B, take it easy. Hopefully you come back next week and chill with us. All right, any other questions? I give you guys a second. Let me take a drink. Any other questions I can answer before I get out of here? The last video also, I want to give a shout out to Magic Mike before I get out of here. The last video had Magic Mike in it. Since we have been talking it up and chatting it up and stuff, I was able to come across a few functions that I was able to toss his way. So hopefully, we'll continue to kind of work together, but that's what it's all about, guys. You saw it in the last video. It's, DJs coming out to your events and stuff so everybody can learn. I think it was a great time and it was a great learning experience for both me and him, because I was in a bit of a pickle on that one, and he actually was rather calm. I mean, of course, because he didn't have to DJ. But yeah, he was rather calm. So, I mean, I really appreciate when I have an opportunity to do something like that. And I hope to do more of that and stuff in the future, as this DJ career continues to grow. DJ G5, thank you for dropping more jewels. No problem, bro. I'm glad that you found some value out of it. How do you prep for a wedding? All right. So, Isaac, I'm glad you said that. I actually have, I think what I'm going to do next week's show on that, how I actually prep for a wedding, because that's going to take me a second. I actually have a whole listing down of everything that I do to prep, and I'll go over my checklist and everything. So come back next week if you can, 7 p.m. On this channel or Twisted Transition. Click the link down below and follow Twisted Transitions. We'll go over that next week, without a doubt. Any quick tips or things you've learned to pack a dance floor? I feel it's just hit and miss. No, to be honest with you, let me give you a quick tip. Know your music better. And I'm not going to say that you don't know your music. I don't want you to feel like I'm just calling you out. Know your music as far as what pops and what doesn't. You got to try some stuff. If something hits, put it in a separate category on your crates, and get a whole listing of stuff that hits. Then find songs that are right around that you can sprinkle in. That's how I'm learning how to put these playlists and stuff together and what works. And then when I learned that and I put together a whole playlist, and I've got something right in front of me that I just know is going to work, I put it out and I have good dance floors. I mean, like I said, every song doesn't work. At the beginning of this, I started off telling you that I had 2 songs bomb. at my last event because I tried them. But now that I know, I'm not going to say I'm not going to try them again. I just know I need to put them in a different order and mix them better. So just a quick tip. But no, there's no certain song that's going to pack a dance floor. You just have to know your music and know where you want to go with it. Do you have a gig on 7/29? I will be in Columbia for a block party for back to school. Free but a gig. I have to look at my calendar. I don't know when. I have 2 weddings in July, and I don't know which Saturdays they are. I also have another vacation coming up in July. So, yeah, I can probably let you know either on next week's show. Just let me know, and I'll have it looked at by then. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping through. I thank you guys for all that you do. Continue to show support and stuff for the other DJs, and thank you for showing so much support and stuff my way. Thank you for coming out week after week. I don't do this for anybody but you guys, so I take this time just to kind of go over some stuff that maybe I don't hit on some of these videos and stuff. Thank you for watching the videos. They're going to continue to come out, and there's going to be some gems coming out. I've had some great talks with some great companies and people, and we're going to get some more videos out, some more educational things out for you guys. So stay tuned, guys. We got a lot coming. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We are at 7,700 on our road to 10,000, and we have got to get there because that is a huge goal of mine since I started this channel. Never thought I would even get close, but here we are. So also click the link and everything down below and check out Twisted Transitions, because we eventually will be fully over there. So if you haven't had a chance to follow Twisted Transitions, the link should be in the comment section down below. Give it a follow, and let's keep this thing rolling. Love doing this thing with you guys. I am out. Enjoy your gigs this week. Can't wait to talk about what happens this Saturday. Kill your gigs. We'll see you again next time. Peace, people.